Hello and welcome. I'm Eva. This is my channel Inner Flame Tarot, and here I'll be doing a tarot reading using multiple decks, mostly tarot and oracle. And I always start off with a deck to tell me what the topic is, unless something comes to mind right before I sit down to do the reading. So my goal here is to work with us on anything in our life that has been holding us back or causing us fear or keeping us stuck, our shadows, our past mistakes or our past choices, trying to work through any darkness to find redeeming elements to it. And each week I just let the message come forward and trust that it will be there for someone at some time. These are timeless. They're not connected to a specific month or astrological sign or moon event. So welcome and settle in to let this unfold for both of us. I'll look at that one since it slid out, but I'm going to cut the deck too. Okay, we have two cards to start off with. New Beginnings and Stillness. Beautiful, aren't they? And definitely have that sense of opposing energies here as well. Interesting. I love that gorgeous light there, and love swans too. I'd like to read from the guidebook for this deck because it really says a lot and brings up new things than just the keywords alone. So for the landscape, we have the radiant sunrise. The sun is the most profound symbol of life itself, large enough to fit 1 million Earths inside it. In ancient cultures, the largesse of the rising sun represented hope and the understanding that life begins again, fresh and new. Responsible for the climate and weather of the earth, it is the symbol of birth and rebirth. It can also represent resurrection and a time of profound spiritual awakening. It symbolizes the end of darkness and the beginning of light and an initiation of a whole new cycle. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Your life is expanding in profound and wondrous ways. New experiences and ideas are emerging. Vitality and wide open opportunities are at hand. Seize the day. This is a perfect time to begin that new project or give birth to an emerging idea. Timing is everything, and the time is now. Anything and everything is possible. Good fortune awaits you. The rising sun is the ultimate symbol of the Yang principle, expanding power and activity. You are radiant and luminous. There is a glow within you that can be felt by all. Okay, now we'll read Stillness. Ah yes, frozen tundra. Not the thing you'd think of with a swan, is it? The tundra is a stark and severe landscape, found in both the southern and northern hemispheres. It is usually bereft of most plant and animal life, and can only support very low-growing plants, such as mosses and lichen. The soil is frozen year-round, so it is impossible for trees to grow in that barren landscape. In the winter, the landscape is very cold and dark, and wild winds surge across the desolation. Even in the summer, the land remains frozen, although the surface can be soggy and covered with lakes, marshes, ponds, and bogs that become havens for millions of migrating birds. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Take a step back from a project, situation, or relationship, even if for just a few moments. Mend bridges, slow down, breathe, be still, go within. Listen to your inner voice. Take time to connect with your spirit guides, ancestors, and spiritual guardians. Listen to your higher self. Timing is everything. That's so funny. We heard that in the last one too, but for the opposite reason. This is not a good time to start a new cycle. Wait, incubate, fix things that need fixing, heal things that need healing, think things through. Forgive yourself and others. If things seem barren or even bleak, hold on. Just as the migrating birds find new life in the tundra marshes in the summer, you too will expand once again during the coming thaw in your life. Fascinating. We got the two extremes here. I'm getting the sense that possibly, since this one, came to my attention first, and this one was the cut, that we are working from these polar opposites here. And the reading that will come forward might help us see how we get from this place of waiting, incubation, to the new beginning. We're going to see how the cards come out and if that's where we're going with this. That's my guess. It's interesting. Okay, so for this reading, I had chosen the Spacious Tarot, mainly because I'm just in the mood for nature-based decks without people in them. Kind of full of human news at the moment. There's been a lot in the news, and I think I could use, maybe we all could use, whenever we're watching this, some solace from nature. Spirit, what can we learn? Your sacred gift to us in the natural world. Ace of Swords. I like that kind of energy. What do we have underneath it? Five of Wands. And Explorer of Wands. Okay, that's the Knight of Wands, for those familiar with regular or traditional tarot. And the Five. So, we have interesting, because the Knight, or rather the Explorer of Wands, makes me think of this energy here with this brand new day, this call to adventure that we see in this card. If I were standing here, I would want to get on my horse and move through these landscapes, through this canyon and along the river, and I would just want to see it all. And I would love to be on a horse, because horses, I don't know, they're so sensitive to the space and to the person, and I think of that because knights are often pictured on horses, but they're so sure-footed on terrain, and they can move really fast when you need them to, and they have great instincts. So that's coming to mind for some reason. And over here we have the Five of Wands, which is a card of competition, combativeness. It's not usually super harmful. It can be annoying when it's a lot of sort of incendiary attitudes or events. It can be, I wouldn't say it's inspiring, but it's a little ensnaring. The energy of the Five of Wands is sort of, you're either very much enmeshed in some kind of athletic competition or creative competition, spiritual competition, a battle of wits, a battle of wills is what I'm trying to say. A battle of wills is often seen here. This wand here seems to have been extinguished, whereas some of these are still lit. Yeah, 3 of them are extinguished and 2 of them are lit, it looks like to me. So it is a contentious energy. I feel like I use that word every time, but that's just the best way I can describe the Five of Wands. Not always bad contention. Like, sports teams going at it on the field bring this kind of energy. They both want to win. Each wants to win. They want to prove themselves. But it is sort of being locked in that state. And then this beautiful ace is the ace of clear thinking, new ideas, rational thought, mental clarity, cutting through all the nonsense and the noise and the confusion to, in the clouds, to reveal clarity, a clear sky, sure thinking. So that's interesting that that's our focus card here. And there's also a sense of needing to know the truth. So you're in the stillness, and you're in what feels like a waiting period, a quiet, wintry time of contemplation and reflection and not making new moves. And here there's this sense of brand new energy, brand new day. The world is wide open to you. Very different. And for some reason, getting some kind of clarity is key to moving, I think, from here to here. But you have to contend with this fiery energy going on down here. I love this art here. So much fiery light. There's a sense of starting something magical here. Some of you are thinking of new creations, new business ventures, taking advantage of opportunities. That's what I get. Taking advantage of opportunities. Maybe opportunities haven't appeared yet and you need the clarity in order to see them. And whatever this is, you're tangled up in it, so you're also not gonna see what opportunities there are until you get this sorted out. You'll know who's got you kind of jumbled up energetically, where you just can't seem to get yourself unenmeshed from an argument. I'm getting the sense of almost like business people bickering over which direction to take, the marketing or something, and maybe you're in a partnership and the two of you can't decide, or maybe there's 3 of you, 4 of you, 5 of you, whatever, and there's just a sense of you can't go forward until you come to an agreement. You cut through all that and you find one way to go. That's just for some folks listening. Just seeing if there's anything else. Since this card mentioned how the frozen tundra doesn't allow trees to grow, I want to turn to a tree deck next to give us some more advice. This is a beautiful deck called the Tree Whisper Oracle. I'll list all these decks down below. It's a beautiful and unusual deck of tree photography that's been altered to bring forward tree spirits. So we'll see what the trees want us to know about moving from this quiet place of waiting and working out our issues with ourselves and other people to finding a new truth and getting revved up to enter this new landscape here, this new adventure. What would you have us see, Spirit, from the trees? What wisdom, support, guidance, light, truth do they offer us? I'll find a spot to do this in. Just getting one card. Grace. I love that. Grace. Wow. Don't hear this word enough, I think. To me, I have been taught by the church to have a certain view of grace, and I'll tell you what that is, and then I'll expound on it from there. So, we're taught in church that grace is God's unmerited favor, meaning we don't earn it. It's flowing to us unearned. It's how the divine regards us. So breaking away from that, I'm going to go into how I feel it from God the Creator, how we are extended grace every moment we're alive. Our hearts beat, our lungs take in air without us even thinking about it usually. And it's expected that we will also return that grace towards others and towards the planet. It's about being patient, and patient with people's humanness, patient with their folly, patient with their mistakes, and patient with ourselves in the same way. It's about overlooking small things and offering goodwill and, giving people the benefit of the doubt. And that's not to say we overlook anything and everything. We have to know our boundaries. We have to know what's necessary for us to speak up about. But grace is the oil in the wheels. It's about not holding everybody accountable for every small mistake they make, not expecting anyone to be perfect, including yourself. So grace can help unknot this kind of energy, because it's about not sweating the small things. It's about bringing humor to the heat. It's about disarming people by first disarming yourself. First taking away putting your own sword in the sand before you expect others to put their sword in the sand. It's about extending kindness. So the fact that this is the only card that came out makes me think that this is the basic key that we need to unravel this energy here and to cut through the confusion that's keeping us in this place here. Grace. I encourage you to do your own study on that word and journal about what comes up. Because in my opinion, this word would, if we could all live this principle more, it would change the world. I feel there's far too little grace in our world, because people think that's making excuses for wrongdoing. But it is different than that, and everyone will have to figure it out for themselves. But it is something definitely to keep in mind. So I think that is all we need for today. I hope this helped you in some way. Please, if you'd like more readings like this, hit the subscribe button, the bell, and you'll be notified of new readings. I put them up about once a week. And until next time, I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.